How weird is this whole association to you? Because it's weird to me.
The IDW?
Yeah, the IDW.
Yeah,
just that.
Well, of course,
intellectual dark web.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's like I've been trying to puzzle it out. I mean, I think what it is a loose collection of early adopters of a revolutionary technology. That's what it looks like to me. And we found each other because we're all doing the same thing.
But it's also a bunch of people that are honest intellectually. Honest about their and maybe don't even agree on things.
Oh yeah, well definitely don't
but
agree.
honest about perceptions.
Well, and also I think interested in long form discussion.
Yes.
Right? And able to engage in it, because otherwise we wouldn't be having the relative success that we're having in the milieu. You know, and it got a name, and that's kind of interesting. And
that's Eric, though.
Yeah, that's right. That's Eric. That's Eric.
He loves it.
Oh yeah, he certainly does.
He loves
and
all
he's
this
playing with
spy
it,
versus spy stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
and he denies that he loves it, which is what's most interesting about it. I love to rib him.
Yeah, well, it's got this funny conspiratorial element there that's sort of true and sort of mostly dramatic. And
well, as a mathematician, he's always looking for patterns and codes. And,
yeah. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, things get a name, and then you think, well, why did that get named? And, well, someone named it. But the name stuck, so it seemed apropos to some degree. And, well, what do we have in common? Most of us are entrepreneurial. Most of us have our own platform so we can speak independently. Most of us are interested in long-form philosophical discussions, primarily, not political, but bordering on political. Well, Ben's more political, obviously.
Yeah, he's the most.
Yeah, but he's also a very sophisticated political commentator, so he borders on both the philosophical and the religious.
Yes.
Right? So, and then we're all the new adopters of this new technology, and so that's enough to put us in a group. And then, well, it turns out that we've all been talking to each other, but part of the reason for that is, well, we're all doing the same thing on the net, so it's not surprising that we're talking to each other. So I always go for the simple explanations first. You know, it's not a movement exactly. What it is, it's the manifestation of a new technology. And then, well, do we have anything in common that's worth discussing that would make this a viable group, let's say? And the answer to that is, I don't know. You know, I've been touring with Ruben. That's been good. It's been good to have a comedian along. And he's also a good interviewer. He does the Q&As with me. And it's nice to have some levity in the mix because the conversations are the discussions with the audience are very serious. Although I can crack a joke. And I can't tell a joke. But if something funny occurs to me, I can say it. And sometimes it's funny. So that's something. You know, and we've been discussing a fair bit, and I've had good conversations with Shapiro and Harris, for that matter. So there is lots of interplay between us, but I think that's more because we inhabit the same technological space more than the same ideological space, apart from the fact that we are actually interested in dialogue, fundamentally. So we'll see. I mean, I'm watching it with curiosity.
Are you apprehensive? Do you think that there's any potential downsides to
there's lots of downsides to it. Sure, there's lots of downsides. I mean, first of all, you know, most of us are on an individualistic path. I'm not really much of a group guy. You know, so am I in this group? It's like, well, I'm pleased to be associated with you guys, that's for sure. But I don't really know what it would mean, or if it should mean anything, or if it'll screw up what I'm doing, or I don't know anything about it. But mostly I'm curious. It's like, this is a group. I thought this is the Rat Pack. I thought when I walked into the restaurant because we were out last night, it was Ben Shapiro, Sam Harris, Eric Weinstein, Dave Rubin, Joe Rogan, and me, right? And my wife, Tammy. And so we're all walking in there, and I thought, well, this is kind of like being in the Rat Pack in the 1950s. I thought, well, I know maybe it isn't, but that's what came to mind. So I thought that's funny, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting, and it's edgy, and all of that. But I'm not taking it seriously. I'm not taking it not seriously either,
right.
But I'm just watching. I'm watching everybody interact because it is a very motley crew of people.
It is.
So, and they're very different. And so,
but it was very
enjoyable. What did you think? Well, so why did you think it was enjoyable?
It's good conversation. I mean, everyone that was in that group has been on my podcast or I've been on theirs. And you know, it's a fun group of really honest, interesting people. Very peculiar
people.
Especially Eric.
Yeah.
He's listening right now. That's why I'm fucking with him. I love that guy. But I mean, everyone's different, but everyone's also unique, and they all bring a lot to the table, and that's what's interesting about it.
Yeah.
The weird collection.
Yep.
You know, I don't know what to think of it. Like when Eric called me up about the whole New York Times thing, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like we're all together in this?
And you did that. Eh? Why did you do that?
Why did I do what?
Why did you be part of the New York Times article?
I barely was. I just answered a couple questions.
But they took a picture
Eric.
of you. You got a picture.
Yeah, they asked me to take a picture.
They didn't take a picture of me.
They didn't.
No.
They shouldn't have taken a picture of me. I was dressed like I was going on stage at the Comedy Store. I didn't wear anything any differently. They were trying to make a big deal of it. I'm like, look, I don't have any time. You want to take a picture of me? This is what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And we did it on the parking lot above the Comedy Store. And it started to rain. I go, we're done. I gotta go. I gotta go on stage. I can't be soaking wet. You know, and then go on stage. And that was it. You know, it was just.
Okay, so your take on it is that it's Your take on it is that it's interesting.
Yes.
Well, this is probably another thing that unites that group of people. Everyone in that group of people is likely to get in trouble because they find too many things interesting, right? And it's trade openness.
Yes.
That's another thing that unites all of us.
Yes.
And you know, curiosity killed the cat, and so.
Yeah, but we're not cats.
True.
Curiosity also built the pyramids.
It did, and it saved a lot of cats too.
Let's end it with that.
All right.
All right, Jordan. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Hey, Joe.